What's up, Game of Thrones? It's your boy DJ Wun Wun here, back at you with another quick vid. And what's up? Our beloved show has come to an end. Can you believe it? I mean, where did the time go? Didn't it just start? I mean, oh my god, 10 episodes up and gone. And as I'm sure everybody's heard by now we gotta wait just a little bit longer until it comes back again. So, not 10 months, no, it's probably gonna be a year or more because, hey, they have to wait for winter and snow to come because I guess they can't just pack up and go to Antarctica or wherever it's snowing. So, yeah, I don't know, but it sounds to me like they're just looking for excuses to wait and stall out until once the winter comes out so they actually have some more material to make their show off of. So, can't really complain about that. I completely understand, but oh man, you know we're all going to be fiending. I mean, man, 10 months seems like forever, and now we're going to wait even longer. Just wait and wait and wait. But I was sitting here, I just got back from the club. As you can see, I'm a little buzzed up, but that's okay. Just got back, and I'm sitting here talking to my girl, and we're going over, and just cannot get over the fact of what's going on with all these hints are dropping in the last couple of Game of Thrones. And it's like, you know me, you've seen me, my very first vid was about the Mad King being Jon Snow's dad. And I mean, most of the people on here, you've seen it, you've seen my video, and I mean, you know where I stand, and I'm still there. But, and of course, everybody's seen this infograph that's come out. The infograph from the HBO blog. So, I mean, it must be right? Because blogs never lie and they're rock solid information. So, why would they do that? Why would they make a video, give us the show, just show us like a little bit, whisper when it comes to the important part about the father and who that is, and then just show us who the mom is? And then just after the show, a blog gives a little graph out on who the dad is? Give me a break. No, it's not. It's bullshit. It's complete bullshit. I never thought Rhaegar was his dad. He still may be, but why would the show do that? Why would they just put out a little thing and not have it? It makes zero sense. I'm not buying it. I think that graph is garbage. So throw it away. I ain't buying it. It ain't real. But anyway, not until Dan or Dave or George R.R. comes out himself and says that this is the father, am I going to believe that that's the true father of Jon Snow. They're not going to make this big deal of it and make whispers of it in the show and then just put out a little graph on a blog and be like, ha, here's the rest of it. I'm telling you, I'm just not buying it. So anyway, I still kind of believe, I still believe that the Mad King is Jon Snow's dad. I think it's going to come out. But the way the show has dropped all these hints and all the little clues they've given it, how can you not take a look at Jon being the Sword of the Morning? Everything that I had the Mad King plugged into, Sir Arthur Dayne was there at each and every spot. So if you just take out the Mad King and plug in Arthur Dayne at each and one of those spots, Jon Snow could be the Sword of the Morning, and he could be Arthur Dayne's son. I mean, you just got to take a look at all these hints.
I keep hearing stories about you. The way people in the North talk about you, you're the greatest swordsman who ever walked.
I'm afraid of it. But on the other hand, why is the show dropping so many hints about this? I mean, you got Ramsay saying what he said. You got the sword, being dropped at the foot of the bed. I mean, why is Ned Stark running into the Tower of Joy, dropping the sword at the foot of the bed, and the camera is just panning on that sword? Why? What is the big deal about Dawn right there? Unless Dawn is the Sword of the Morning, Jon is the Sword of the Morning. I mean, why else did they plan on that? I don't understand. I really can't explain right now, and that's obviously some information the show and the book hasn't given us yet, is why would Robert want to kill him if he's just Arthur Dayne's? But obviously, I think Lyanna got pregnant at Harrenhal. I think it was, obviously, I've always thought it was the Mad King who did it, but obviously Sir Arthur Dayne was there as well. So, Arthur Dayne could have hooked up with Lyanna, and then that ties in as well. You never know who is the Laughing Knight. Who's the Laughing Knight or the Knight of the Laughing Tree at Harrenhal? Nobody ever knows. They're like, oh, maybe it's Lyanna and her voice sounds all deep because of the booming. You know what makes sense? Is Rhaegar getting hooked up in the Knight of the Laughing Tree stuff. He comes back. or not Rhaegar, I'm sorry, Sir Arthur Dayne. Sir Arthur Dayne gets hooked up in it. He puts on the Night of the Laughing Tree stuff because him and Lyanna are in love. Lyanna went and told him what happened to her father's man, Howland Reed, and Sir Arthur Dayne's like, I'll stick up for him. He can't do it as a white knight, but he could put on the Night of the Laughing Tree uniform and put it on and go after him. And now all of a sudden, boom, who's the Knight of the Laughing Tree that stuck up for Lyanna and Howland Reed? Oh, it was Sir Arthur Dayne, Lyanna's true love, who got her pregnant with Jon Snow. What? It all fits. It totally all fits. So I'm like, I really think, I mean, it only makes sense. This whole story only makes sense if Jon's a Targaryen. So, I mean, and I don't think it's Rhaegar. Rhaegar was too honorable, noble, and everything you hear about him was great, except for Robert. Everything about Rhaegar was awesome. He's not the kind of guy that's just going to go raping and kidnapping and stealing maidens from the north. Why? He just wouldn't do that. I mean, yeah, if they were in love, or I mean, I'm just not buying it. There's too much else going on, and yeah, it just doesn't make sense. So I mean, it has to be the Mad King. To me, it has to be the Mad King. The Mad King is Jon Snow's dad. I think all this infograph stuff and stuff is just HBO trolling, trying to do whatever. But when it all comes out and in the books, I think the Mad King is going to be Jon Snow's dad. And that's what makes sense. I mean, he's a Targaryen. His is a song of fire and ice, and that's where it all gets down to. But you just can't ignore all these clues that the show is dropping. I mean, why are they dropping all these? Like I said, I mean, Ned's not coming in with Dawn, dropping it at the foot of the bed, and they're just panning and stalling on Dawn for nothing. There is a reason for that. Why? I mean, who's calling Jon Snow the greatest? I mean, Ramsay says people in the North are saying you're the greatest swordsman in the North. Who's saying that and why? I mean, why are they dropping all these hints? Unless he really is a Dane. It's just, I mean, I just don't know where they're trying to go with all that, and it's blowing me away. So, I don't know. We just, some more to figure out. The last thing, and then all this stuff that all these clues are coming in, I mean, this is show only stuff. I mean, like I said, in the books, I'm pretty rock solid that it's going to be the Mad King as his dad. But, they're kind of switching things up, and who knows where they're going to go. I mean, this seems like a pretty big ordeal to be switching some key information on, so I don't know. But, I don't know. The other thing, and the last thing that kills me about this is, when Ned went to the Tower of Joy, why did Sir Arthur Dayne say, I wish you good fortune in the wars to come? Which is the exact same thing that Mance Rayder said to Stannis. I wish you good fortune in the wars to come. Nobody else in this whole series has ever uttered those words. So, are they, I mean, is that not them preluding, telling it? We never saw a man die. Or we saw a man die, but we never saw Sir Arthur Dayne die. We just saw him get slit up twice. He got stabbed in the back by Howland Reed, and then he got supposedly his throat slit by Ned, and you'd think that'd be definitely good enough to do it. But we saw Arya take 2 in the abdomen and get turned, and she jumped in a sick infested river, and she's lived, and she's fine, so who knows what goes on. But to me, it seems like Sir Arthur Dayne is Mance Rayder. I mean, they're the only 2 people in this whole story who have ever uttered those lines. Why are they the only 2 people that have said these exact same? Now, yeah, Benjen said, I wish you good fortune. He didn't say, I wish you good fortune in the wars to come, though. So, yeah, obviously they have some more tidbits to drop us, but they're making it look to me like Mance Rayder is Sir Arthur Dayne. And if you remember in the books, and like what I said in one of my other videos, you remember when Jon was fighting Rattleshirt, and Rattleshirt was just kicking his ass all over the yard, and Jon was like, gee, how is this little guy beating me? And then all of a sudden we find out later that it was Mance Rayder with Ruby on, and he was glamored by Melisandre. It wasn't the Lord of Bones. It was actually Mance Rayder, and that's why he was kicking Jon's ass all over the yard, because it was Mance and he was bigger. But still, Jon Snow is one of the greatest swordsmen out there. So why was this guy kicking his ass? Oh, because he was truly the greatest swordsman that ever lived, because that was Sir Arthur Dayne. I am pretty much rock solid on the fact that Mance Rayder is Sir Arthur Dayne. He has to be. I think they lived. I think Howland Reed went and did some voodoo wizard war warlock magic on him, saved him because he was the one who stabbed him in the back, patched him up, saved him, and they're like, the only way we don't kill you right now is if you decide to take the black and go to the wall. He's like, all right, I'll take the black. He went up there, then he fell in love with a wildling, left the black, and became the king beyond the wall. I mean, what else are they trying to tell us with all this? I mean, Mance Rayder has to be Rhaegar, or Sir Arthur Dayne. So, yeah. I don't know why they're dropping all these little hints and why those two are the only two that said that exact line. I mean, yeah, I wish you good fortune in the wars to come. That's the only two people that said that are Mance Rayder and Sir Arthur Dayne. So, I don't know. I mean, they can only give us so many clues. We got to do the rest of the footwork ourselves and figure it out. But when it comes to me, I don't know. That's where I'm at. So, like I said, a little buzzed up, just thinking Game of Thrones stuff, and I had this on my mind, and just wanted to get it out there and see what you guys think. I put a video out there, and I was due anyway. So, what do you think? Do you think it's possible that Sir Arthur Dayne is Mance Rayder? That's the same person, and what is going on with all these drops and all these clues that Jon is the Sword of the Morning? I mean, is that Rhaegar's son? Is it the Mad King's son? Or is it Sir Arthur Dayne's son? I mean, gotta be one of those three, right? But the way all these clues are dropping, it's like it's Sir Arthur Dayne's son. He was there at Harrenhal. He was there at the Tower of Joy. Why wasn't he at the battle? Because his prince wanted him there. Why do you want him there? Because he wanted him there for the birth of his son. That's the kind of guy Rhaegar was. It's like, you're about to have a son born. You don't need to go die. Be here for be here for the birth of your son. I don't know. It just seems like it's panning out that way. So time will tell. I mean, hopefully this book will come out. George, please, Lord, bring it on already. When's the winter? Need it in my life. So come on. Hopefully that comes out. We'll get some more answers. And until then, we're going to keep putting our heads together and trying to figure this out. So until next time, I hope you enjoyed it. It's your boy DJ Wun Wun. And we're going to have all kinds of videos coming out all summer long. And try to get that Game of Thrones fix in for you. So until next time, game on.